We have abolished the 3 months pay policy killer. It is that 3-month pay policy killer that led to legacy arrears that President Akufo-Addo has been paying only for teachers. Every other profession was not paid. Only the teachers, because he wanted to respect and regard and recognize teachers. We have paid over 90%. We do acknowledge that some have not been paid. What we have said is that those who have not been paid should quickly put in their, through even their union leaders, and we'll make arrangements and pay. Just like the professional teacher allowance, you have to be validated because not everybody on the payroll qualifies. So you have to send your documents through your district and we'll pay. We want to pay. We are ready to pay to fulfill that obligation by the time you take your thumb, and vote number 1. Okay. Let's go to, I have a short video clip. I want to see how desperately some people want to capitalize on ignorance. There are only one group of people who want to use ignorance to make a name and get promoted in politics. We don't. So let's listen to this clip. Oh, that is my very good friend. That's my very good. We can't
examinations. They become very controversial. NAT's position is what? Are you going to, when are you starting the exams and are you for it?
Already, there are discussions ongoing on the fee that has to be charged. I think last week
But you are for the policy?
Sure, we are for it.
So you write the license
we will
exams
write.
and are you for it?
Already, there are discussions ongoing on the fee that has to be charged. I think last week
But you are for the policy?
Sure, we are for it.
So you write the license?
We will write.
Is the question is about the fee? How much? You want to write it for free?
Yes, if it is, it's very fine because we become professionals.
Because there's a controversy about whether it's necessary. The NDC's position is that they will cancel it. You don't need to write licensure exams. Well, your position is that you like it.
Yes, we feel that. Okay. Yes, you see, in Ghana, we all hear of a fake lawyer being arrested. Sure. Have you ever heard of a fake teacher? No. But there are plenty of them. But sometimes these SHS graduates who go and teach people even in their homes, when they go and defile a student, they say teacher has defiled the child. So we want these benchmarks to be dealt with, especially in the private.
Position that they are going to cancel. That was the response of an enlightened teacher. We are not going to be ignorant and fools every day for people to capitalize on that. The teacher unions are in support of the license. We arrange fake doctors, fake lawyers, and they also want to be recognized. So that somebody goes to defile somebody, they can say he's not part of our professional cadre. We are moving on as a country, and lies cannot be sustained forever. The last but 2 things on the teacher benchmarks is teacher accountability and governance. And what we have done is that we have retooled certain bodies within the Ghana's education system, like the school inspectorate that deals with inspection of schools to make sure that they are safe and secure, that the right number of qualified teachers are teaching, that you are not propagating any unsound, uncultural, or alien practices at the side of education in our schools. The National Inspectorate Board has been transformed and is now the School Inspectorate Authority. That will ensure that our schools are safe for our kids when we leave our kids there 8 hours. They are not abused. For accountability purposes, we have benchmarks that we are introducing. And the World Bank is supporting us to undergo this project that has started in earnest called Gallup. That 10,000 of our poorest schools are being given incentives, school grants. They are training school management. They are training over 70,000 teachers to ensure 76,000 teachers, affecting over 2.3 million kids, over 260, nearly 2 in every district in the country. for those schools that are the lowest part of our educational line to also come out with targeted investment and resources. That is a government that understands that there are rights, responsibilities, and accountability mechanisms everybody must undergo. And thank you, and may God bless us. And may God bless us. Before I run and go and sit down, repetition, like the parrot, make sure you have ears to listen to all the gossip. Everything that the parrot sees, it will tell its master. When you went, Madame was in the house. When you went, Master was in the house. When Master came, Auntie came to visit and they had a beer. The parrot will tell the Madame, if Madame is the owner. Since I'm the parrot, I have to tell you what Nana Akufo-Addo's government has done. Boswaba, we have reinstated the teacher training allowance. And now even the professor and the former vice chancellor is now denying. She forgets that his government cancelled the book and research allowance and introduced in parliament the tertiary education fund. They said they won't pay. If you're a teacher and you want to do research, go to the research fund. We have not only maintained the book and research allowance, we have increased the research component by 200% from 500 cities to 1,500 cities. And as we speak, the teacher unions in the tertiary education space, UTAC, is sitting with their fair wages to conclude on their conditions of service that they have never had since 2006 under President Akufo. We have employed over 93,000 staff into the Ghana education. We have paid over 90% of the legacy arrears. We have abolished the inimical 3-month pay policy. We have had no teacher union strike. Because we have dealt with respect and dignity with the teacher unions. We have improved the system of promotion. And we all realized that in July, when the promotion results came, teachers were applauding because in 3 months, they all got their salary. And it's just an aptitude test that we have done. For the senior levels, yes, because they have fewer numbers, they will still go through an interview because you are becoming more responsible and we expect more of you. But for 80% of the teachers, the aptitude test is good enough for us to promote you. Of course, we have introduced the 1,200 professional teacher allowance. We have signed a collective agreement with the pre-tertiary teacher unions. We have a better accountability system that is being tried under Gallup. We have upgraded university colleges, colleges of education. We upgraded under President Akufo training colleges to become colleges of education, and that now the colleges of education have become university colleges. We have changed the top-up period from 3 years from diploma to degree to a 1-year, 3-semester system. We have agreed with UCC to start deploying that, and so for a teacher will be a bachelor's degree very, very, very soon. And that means that you go up three steps up the remuneration ladder within Ghana Education Service. We believe we have a better deployment system that we are going to emphasize, and we know that in supporting technical and vocational education, we have established a university purposely for that. If that is not a government that recognizes teachers, we certainly don't need a Babase. Thank you.
The teacher under NPP. Education is a human right with immense power to transform. On its foundation rest the cornerstones of freedom, democracy, and sustainable human development. In Ghana, as in the whole world, the role of the teacher is critical to education at every level, with their influence. The teacher under NPP. Education is a human right with immense power to transform. On its foundation rest the cornerstones of freedom, democracy, and sustainable human development. In Ghana, as in the whole world, the role of the teacher is critical to education at every level, with their influence extending into the life of the child into adulthood. That makes it crucially important for the teacher to be well taken care of, from the preschool to the tertiary level. Education before 2017. While sporadic gains have been made successfully over the years, the situation in 2017 was not encouraging. Nearly half of all the 2015 WASSCE students failed in mathematics, while 20% of students failed in English at the WASSCE in 2016. Only 2% of students in P2 were proficient in reading in 2013 and 2015. Compounding these problems was the problem of teacher absenteeism, which stood at 27%. In addition, the Ministry of Education was saddled with heavy debt, with over 36 million Ghana cedis owed colleges of education in feeding grants and more than 10 million Ghana cedis for educational supplies. The plight of the teacher began at the allowance, meaning that new teachers started their professions with no incomes. Promotion and advancement processes for teachers were cumbersome and unclear. Allowances were in arrears, and strikes over unsatisfactory conditions of service were common. Many of these have been reversed since. Teacher reform. Since January 2017, when it took office, the NPP administration has pursued a number of teacher reforms to improve the welfare and skills of teachers, to enable them to deliver 21st century learning outcomes. In just 3.5 years, under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, several gains have been made in this regard as we continue to strive to improve learning outcomes in this country under the Teacher First policy. As a means of equipping colleges of education for the demands of the future, Wi-Fi systems have been installed at least 37 of them and counting. Trainee teacher allowance has been restored. Graduates of colleges of education have been onboarded onto the National Service Scheme in accordance with the law, not only giving them experience and an income before being deployed, but their probation and licensure examinations are also catered for. New teachers will be awarded with Bachelor of Education degrees with the upgrading of colleges of education from diploma awarding institutions. Teachers can upgrade to Bachelor of Education degrees with the University of Cape Coast 3-semester top-up program. Overall enrollment numbers into colleges of education have also increased, even whilst trainee allowances have been restored. Before these reforms, teachers who graduated from our colleges of education with a diploma in basic education and who wished to upgrade to a university degree had to spend 3 years to do so. Through the University of Cape Coast today, in-service diploma-holding teachers now need to spend only 3 semesters to upgrade to the degree with the University of Cape Coast. Arrears owed members of College of Education Teachers Association of Ghana, CTAG, have been paid, while book and research allowance and market premium have been granted to senior members of non-teaching staff at colleges of education since their upgrade to the public university salary scale in order to maintain standards with expansion in facilities and the successful implementation of the free SHS program. Over 93,000 staff have also been added to the ranks of teaching and non-teaching staff. Teacher professionalization. Teacher standards have been raised through the National Teaching Standard for a teacher with an assessment framework and the licensing regime for the newly trained teacher. Through the Continuous Professional Development (CPD) program, in-service teachers are now able to upgrade their knowledge and skill set. This push to improve upon teacher professionalization gives teachers a minimum number of credits to maintain their license. In addition, half a day each week is also set aside for school-based teacher training. To help teachers build upon their professional capacity, the Professional Teacher Allowance has been introduced, giving professional teachers an additional 1,200 cedis per year and 800 cedis for non-professional teachers. Teacher promotion. Today, aptitude tests have replaced time-consuming interviews as the mode for promotion, whilst teachers with postgraduate degrees get their promotions in 2 years instead of 4. Teachers who are promoted after passing their promotion test instantly receive their promotion letters printed on a special GES security paper. Salary adjustments now reflect within 3 months of a teacher getting promoted. Added to that, over 90% of the unjust legacy arrears have been cleared, with the remainder on track to being paid by the end of 2020. Career progression is a priority for this government, with a huge emphasis on recognizing and acknowledging aspiration. The Pre-tertiary Teacher Professional Development and Management (PTPDM) framework, which is being funded with assistance from the Japan International Cooperation Agency (JICA), was revised in 2018. The 2 overarching goals of the PTPDM are to assist the teacher in their career progression to becoming a consultant teacher and to equip those interested in leadership and management of schools. This is important to identify and groom inspirational teachers to assume management roles and drive academic excellence. In 2018, government instituted the Ghana Teacher Prize, GTP, as a rebrand of the Best Teacher Award, and in line with the international standards pertaining to the Global Teacher Prize. In addition to this, any teacher who wins an award at the Ghana Teacher Prize or is selected as one of the finalists for the Global Teacher Prize receives an out-of-turn promotion to the next rank within the Ghana Education Service. Conditions of service. In August 2020, the government signed a collective agreement with pre-tertiary teacher unions in the country in a bid to advance teachers' welfare. Improved benefits include vehicle maintenance allowance, kilometric allowance, night allowance, allowance for teachers in deprived and difficult areas, retention allowance, protective clothing allowance, advance to purchase means of transport, salary advance, special allowance, transfer grant, permanent posting allowance, and responsibility allowance. This responsibility allowance is now being paid to over 35,000 qualifying staff, covering basic, SHS, and office. 9 categories of staff are entitled to responsibility allowance. These are basic school heads, headmasters and mistresses, assistant headmasters and mistresses, chaplains and imams, form masters and mistresses, guidance and counseling coordinators, heads of departments or program heads, housemasters and mistresses, and unit heads. At the tertiary level, the book and research allowance, which was cancelled under the previous administration, has not only been restored, but has been improved by this government with an approval of 200% increase from 500 cedis to 1,500. In addition to this, starting with the next academic year, all tertiary students who qualify for SNIT loans can access them with just their national ID cards and without the need for a guarantor. This will open up opportunities for all who seek to enter tertiary institutions, including those who wish to teach. The teacher of tomorrow. Our appreciation for the teaching profession is immense, and we recognize the indispensable role of the teacher. When the teacher is transformed, learning outcomes improve at all levels. That is why the NPP is restoring the dignity of teaching and will continue to put the teacher first in the education transformation agenda. The vision of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is for a 21st century teacher who is a competent, skilled, and professionally trained person equipped with the right set of skills and competencies to play a key role in delivering improved learning outcomes for learners to meet our development needs. This is what the NPP regime is striving to achieve for the child, for the teacher, for the nation.
We just compose it. The title of the song. Hey, idea. Any impediment for some year can ever. A successful life depends on good training. Abrabo beya, abrabo beya pa, abrabo beya pa. Nina jina tetia paso. Abrabo beya pa, abrabo beya pa, abrabo beya. Nina jina tetia paso. Ni wanted to know say comedy now. To me, Dana L, Naya 7. Abrabo benya pa, abrabo benya pa, abrabo benya pa. Nina jina titia paso. Yanamu ayetu emini yanamu. Chin Madachi. Adibia Yano Yangu. It is an amon pabini to Yaminianum. In Chianamon Pone and Chimania Faso. Anyanasa and Chimababu support that be. Temporary to your pan. Yeah, pa. 1+1. It's the anonymous king. Yes, sir. Young family antato. I'm a woman yet the year. Men and other fast and create separate way no children me. What a time to your pa and a moja baby I'm a tear. And catch it, and I'm one may your mania, and it has swum. The best I couldn't need to know, Moshia said, Monkamu Timpamo. Nagana, the America, so Swabian. And Yama Kodre, I
That was Osei Kranchi and his Seprewa Agofoma. Please give a resounding applause to the Seprewa band. And secondly, to the Minister for Education for the detailed accounts Yes. For a detailed account is given to us this morning on the many interventions made in his education sector, all geared towards enhancing teacher, quality of teachers, and learning. Another round of applause, please. Please be informed that we are running a survey on our Facebook page, that is on the Ministry of Information Facebook page. Take part in it and let us know your thoughts and your comments. For those of us in this auditorium who are unable to join us on Facebook, we'll send the survey to your phones. Thank you very much. At this point, please help me welcome the Minister for Information, Honorable Kojo Pongkroma, for his concluding remarks.
First, I want to acknowledge the heads of some of the agencies under the Ministry of Education that are here. Please rise. Because of your masks, I may not see your face well, but I know some of you are here. Please rise. Let's give you a big round of applause to celebrate the work that you have been doing to support the Honorable Minister at the Ministry. We really acknowledge the work that you are doing, and we are thankful to you. You may resume your seats. You may resume your seats. Thank you. Thank you. Second is to say that the documentary that wraps up the entire story, we're going to have it uploaded on the Ministry of Information's Facebook page and social media handles, and we encourage our colleagues in the media to also give it some airplay so that people can have a deeper appreciation of what has gone on so far. They say good news doesn't sell, bad news sells. So sometimes some of all of these exciting stories, they will not find expression in mainstream media. As I always say, we can't tell the media how to go about their work. We can only implore you that while you tell all the other stories, make time to tell some of these stories about the kind of innovations that are going on to make the teacher better off and to put the teacher at the center of quality education. Because it is important that people get an understanding of all of this as it goes on across the country. May I also reiterate that we'll be happy to get your feedback about the nation building updates in general, about this session in particular. Take a few minutes and fill that survey for us on the Facebook page of the Ministry of Information. If you forget anything at all, don't forget that by the end of these 4 years, 93,724 teachers would have been recruited. If you forget anything at all, don't forget that the Kufuor administration upgraded teacher training colleges to colleges of education, and now they are also being mapped up to the university so that shortly the Ghanaian teacher will have as a minimum a Bachelor of Education degree as a minimum qualification. If you forget anything at all, don't forget that we are developing teachers to become highly proficient professionals, as is being done in other categories, even at the tertiary level, etc. And that the conditions of service of the Ghanaian teacher are being improved. First, with the professional teaching allowances that have been introduced, and also with about 12 different teacher-related allowances that have also been introduced. The teacher reward or remuneration program is on board, and then the national teaching standards, among others, are also being rolled out. I want to really encourage you to make some time, go through the materials as we put them up on our handles, and do well to share them with us. It is our expectation that on Tuesday, we'll come back here for another session of the nation building updates to account to the good people of Ghana for the kind of work that is going on. But to my senior brother, Matthew Opoko Prempe, I know a part of the country where we'll call you Mighty. I can only say thank you. You like Napo? I prefer Mighty. I would want to say a special thanks to you that you always avail yourself anytime we request of you to come and tell your story. And we really don't take it for granted. We appreciate your cooperation and your support for the Ministry of Information. I want to say a very special thanks to Honorable Pius Anam Hajide and the team at the Ministry of Information that puts together this nation building update. We'll rise for the NRI Assassin Day. After the closing prayer, we'll take the NRI Assassin Day and then we'll wrap up. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. And so, drawing the curtains down on this event, I'll invite Alhaji Abdul Razak Umar Head of HR, Ministry of Education. Please, Alhaji. Yes, please. With a round of applause, let's welcome him.
Shall we pray? Be seated, please. In the name of Almighty Allah, the most merciful, the most graceful, we thank you for bringing us this far. We thank you for the policies of the ministry for the teacher. Let us benefit from these policies. We pray that our teachers benefit from these policies. وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
In your trust, to believe your perceiving Omnia, ATM, Ramuhama, and Sassuota, to say, Omanu Seviero, Omanu Seviero.